A warm welcome to today's video. This is our second video in the Tkinter series, and today we are going to develop a YouTube video downloader from scratch. And we are going to learn a lot today. Let's jump in. Our today's video is going to be a very exciting one. Today we are going to develop a YouTube video downloader, pretty advanced GUI we are going to develop today. You see there are a lot of different widgets we are going to learn, like radio button, label, text area, entry. You can browse folder and select it. We are going to use the Tkinter Bootstrap library, which is a modern library for the Tkinter. So we are going to learn a lot. If you choose a single video, then this particular entry field will be enabled and you can put your video URL here, any resolution you want, high or low, and then you select the folder where you want to download. Click on a download. It will download automatically the video in that folder. Not only single URL, if you want to use the multiple URL function also, put the multiple URLs in the comma separated way, it will download video altogether. So it's a pretty useful one, complete solution. And we are going to learn a lot today. Different layout, variable concept, different widgets, how the widgets work together using the variable. So I'm really excited. Let's jump in and start today's video. I took a screenshot of our YouTube video downloader. To develop this one, we need to import few libraries. Let's import those. Import Tkinter as Tk. It's our normal Tkinter. We already discussed in the previous video where we developed a calculator. There we used this Tkinter. This comes as a Python default installation, so you do not need to install anything for this. Then we will import Ttkbootstrap as Ttk. This is actually a custom library for Tkinter. This does not come as a default installation. For that you need to install it. Pip install Ttkbootstrap and hit enter. It will install. Now you may question why I am installing this, why I cannot work with the Tkinter. Tkinter has the same widget what we have in the Ttkbootstrap, but only difference is Tkinter is a very old library. The widget you see in the Tkinter, they are pretty old. They developed in 1990s. This Ttkbootstrap one is a customized one which provide you a lot of different themes, and the widgets are also looking very modern. It looks pretty good, right? Beautiful widget, and you can add some themes. That's why we are going to use Ttkbootstrap. This is a modern Tkinter library. And if you notice that I import this Ttkbootstrap as Ttk. Next one, I am going to import a FileDialog. We will see where we are going to use it, but let's import it now. Our next import is pytubefix. So this particular library I am going to use to download YouTube video in our local system. If you remember, I already have a video on this, how you can download YouTube videos in your local system, but that time we didn't use any UI, and that was pretty basic. But today we are going to create a much advanced video downloader. But if you see the old video I will put the link also. There I use that in the automation, and that time we use this pytubefix library. So I am going to use the same library again. For this library also you need to install it with the pip. So just normal pip install and then pytubefix. And the last one is a pytubefix CLI. It is not a new installation. It's one of the module I am importing from this pytubefix library. I will explain all this thing to you. You can see it has a few components, like it is a window. It has different widgets, and the widgets do some function too. I can categorize my program in few parts. So let's write those. This part where we can going to write my functions. That means whatever the widget will have into the UI will have, to do something with that widget, we are going to need to write some function. So we will write in this place, putting some comments, the UI window. So this section we will use for the UI window. We will have widgets. Let's write that. We will have widgets. Now what is widgets in Tkinter? Widgets is anything, whatever you will see in a window, UI window, a radio button, entry box, a label button, select folder button, whatever you are seeing here in this window, everything are widgets in Tkinter. And this widget concept is very common for any UI. So by either it is Tkinter or it is React or Flutter, anywhere, anything you are going to use, The widget concept is always same. We are going to add our widgets here. Oh, in between, I'm going to add another section that's called variable. Now, this variable concept is in Tkinter is new for you. I didn't discuss this in the last video. So we are going to discuss this concept. Okay, variable. We need to have a layout, right? Layout is when you have the widget. Now, where you will place those widget in this particular window, that you will decide via layout. We are going to discuss the layout also, and we're going to write the layout in this section. The last is running the window. We can start writing our code now. This is kind of a framework for us before we write the code. So we are going to write our code in different section. Okay, that's why I divided in this framework. It will be easy for you to understand it. So we'll start with the window. First, for do anything in the UI, we need to first have the window, right? And it's very simple. Last time also we discussed to create a window in Python GUI. I create a variable called window. You can create any variable. Someone tell it's a root, someone tell is app, someone tell is window. Last video I have used this variable as a root, but here this time I am using window variable. It's a variable name. You can give any name here. You can create the window like this. Last time we created, if you remember, tk.tk helped us to create the window. This is a old way to create that, but the basic one. But today we are going to create a window a little bit different way, which is a modern way to create a window, where we are going to use our modern Tkinter library, Ttkbootstrap. That is our ttk. Instead of this, I am going to write ttk dot window, right? Then I will write that theme name. Now you may ask what is the theme name? I will come there. Give me a second. I am going to explain it to you. Pass an attribute called theme name, and theme name I mentioned journal. Now, as I said, Ttkbootstrap, this particular library is mostly useful because it provides a lot of themes by default. Let me show you. This is the Ttkbootstrap website. And if you go to the website, they will see different themes are there. If you click on the themes, you will see light themes, dark themes, lot of themes it give us. You can use this theme. I am going to use the journal in this journal theme because I like that, but you can use any of the theme here. Now, how you will use the theme? So first of all, to use any theme, you just need to write when you are creating the window, what is the theme you are going to use. Theme name is equal to journal. If you do not mention any theme there, then by default, it's going to use Litera. Yeah, this is our default theme. You see different colors, button colors here. These are the colors of this theme. You do not need to remember any name of the color or any hex code or anything. If you like the green color, for example, you just need to write the success. Okay. How you will do it, I am showing it right now. But if you write the success, then it will take the green color. If you do not mention anything, by default, is take the primary, this particular color. Okay. And otherwise, if you can choose any of the theme color from this. Okay. Now, let's say you are creating a button. Okay. Now, how you mention the theme here in the button, when you're creating it, you do not need to mention any color there. Instead of that, you will write boot style equal to, and you mention which color you want to use. This is, I'm going to use the success, for example, for the green color. Then you will say boot style equal to success. Then it will show you this green color. Okay. This green color button like this. Now, if you want to have a button like which has a outline of the green, and when you hover it, it will basically be fill up with the color. If you want to do that kind of thing, then you can mention info outline. There are multiple ways you can mention this as a tuple format. You can mention it like all together, or there is a space. Any way you can mention it. All will work, but recommended one is this one, the color name, then hyphen, and then the outline. So like that you can mention. I am going to use this in my code, but you are okay to use any of them, whichever you like. Hope it is clear now how the theme works in the Ttkbootstrap. If not, it's a very simple tutorial. You can just a one-page tutorial. You can read this one. I am going to provide the link into the description box. But I think it will be clear after we develop the video downloader tool. I think it should be clear to you everything. Now coming back to our code again. So I mentioned the window equal to ttk.window, then theme name journal. That's it. And then to run it, as you remember, we in the run, I can write here, I can write window dot main loop. If we do not mention that, then window will not stay. Now that's it. These 2 lines is enough to create the window. Let me run it. See, our window created, nice looking window. By default, it's the title Ttkbootstrap. You can always change the title. Let's change the title now. So to change that, window dot title, and I mention, say, video downloader. Now if you run it, you will see your title got changed. See, this video downloader is showing. Very good. If I open my screenshot, you see our first widget is a label where I'll write YouTube video download. Very cool. Let's create our first widget, a label widget we can create. And whenever we are going to create widget, we are going to use the TTK. As I said, most of the widget available in the Bootstrap also, normal Tkinter widget, few exception, like text is not available in the Ttkbootstrap. That time we are going to use the only, Tkinter widget, but I will let you know. So TTK, let's give a name of this widget. I'm going to give a name like header label, right? And I will do it TTK dot label. I'm going to put this widget into my window, right? This window I created. Here I'm going to put this particular label here, right? So, and that name of the window is window here. So I can mention here window. The 2 way you can mention. There is an attribute called master. You can mention like master window. That means you are saying this particular widget, this label widget will be, I am going to place in this particular window I created. This is the parent of this particular label. You are okay to, only write window like this. That will also work, or it is okay to explicitly mention the attribute name master equal to window. Both will work. Okay. So I just mentioned master.window just for the clarity purpose. Always the first attribute will be for any widget is where you want to place the widget, the parent name. The parent is here the window. That's why I mentioned like this. That text you need to mention. And I'm going to write like YouTube video downloader. Perfect. Big font I want to use here. So I will mention the font. That's why let's use a Vardhana for this. And then you'll mention the size of the font. I'm going to use 30. We'll see how it looks like. And then I'm making it bold. And what will be the color you are going to use? Now, as I said, how you are going to mention the color? Boot style. And so if we open the theme, I'm going to use this color. This is called primary, right? So I will mention boot style equal to primary. Perfect. Now if you run it, you will not able to see anything because I created the widget, but I didn't put it in the layout yet. If you remember from the last video, you need to mention the layout. Okay. Now quick recap of what is layout is, so that it will be quick refresher for you. So in Tkinter, there are 3 layouts available. First is pack. That is a very simple one. If you see, this is a pack layout. When these are, you can think about widgets, the yellow colors, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 widgets. So by default, whenever you create a widget and put into this pack layout, by default is come top to bottom, 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. This is the normal by default pack house for the top to bottom. But there is a way you can customize it, like you can make the pack one, put side by side. There are different attributes. We'll see those. For example, I can give you, there's an attribute called side. And there you can mention where it will be left or right. So this is basically pack, widget defined pack one after another. That's why it's a pack. Next layout is grid. Grid layout, if you remember that in the last video where we developed a calculator, that time we used this grid layout kind of, very extensively, right? Kind of tabular format you can think about is a rows and columns. First row and column start with the 0, 0. If you mention row 0 and column 0, then it will be left hand side top. And in a grid layout, the good thing is you can put your widget anywhere in the grid, mentioning the rows and columns. That's why it gives you more control where you want to put your widget in the layout for the grid layout. And there is another layout where you just mention the x-axis and y-axis and you can put your widget anywhere. But there are few differences. I would show you the way. If you use the pack layout, then it will be more responsive. Your design is more responsive. What that mean? Let me show you what I mean by that. if you see this tool, if I now make it, big like this, if I increase the size, then also it does not look bad. It looks pretty good. I mean, it's pretty stable. That is called the, it's a responsive design. That means if you change the window size, then also it does not break. The responsiveness is pretty good. And just for your information, when you use the pack layout, that time your design is always more responsive compared to other layout. It doesn't mean you always, if you are going to use the pack layout in UniFR tool, you only need to use the pack. You can easily combine these different layouts and keep them organized using frames and parenting. We will understand what is frames, what is parenting. You have a very complex design, for example. There you have a left hand side, you need to put some widget. In the right hand side, you need to put some widget. Now frame is something, frame is an empty widget you can think about, where you will not be able to see the frames when you create that widget, but it actually used to place the different widgets into the frame. Then you can place the frame in the layout. So the example of this layout, you see, I created two frames, frame 1 and frame 2. Left hand side the frame 1 and right hand side the frame 2. Two frames I put in a pack layout, and in the frame I created grid layout, and there I put this widget 1 and widget 2 into the frame 1. So frame 1 is the parent for this widget 1 and widget 2. Like that, widget 3, 4, 5, the parent is the frame 2. And here I use the place layout. So you see, here we combine the different layouts, and we use frames and different parenting option, so that we can create, like this way, we can create a very complicated, complex layout also. Okay, complex design also. So that is also possible. So frame is going to be very handy, and we are going to use the frame in today's code also. You will understand all these things. But today mainly we are going to use the pack layout, but we are going to use frame to make it look better. You will understand very soon. So if you understand the layout concept now, you understand that I already created a widget, but when I'm running it, why not coming it? So you need to put into a layout, and we are going to use a pack layout today mainly. To add a layout, I just in the layout section, I'm going to add this particular widget, and I'm going to use as a pack. Okay, that's it. Now you should be able to see your widget. But you see, there is a problem. This is sticking in the top and bottom and left and right. So let's give some padding here. There are two ways you can add padding, that is pad X and pad Y. When you use the pad X, then you give the padding horizontal padding. That means you give the padding left and right. And how you mention it, you can mention as a tuple. For example, if I want to give padding like 20-20, so 20 left and 20 right. So you will use the pad X like this, and then if you want to give padding in top and bottom, then you will use the pad Y equal to 20-20. Now it should look good. See, much better, right? You got a good padding in the left and right and top bottom also. So this is our first widget. Now if we see our screenshot, next one is we have a two radio button we need to create. Okay, let's create it. So that means we need two radio button, right? Comments, just someone will see the code later, it will be easy for them to understand. Now I am going to create let's choose a single video or multiple video. That's what we are going to do, right? Because if you see what it says here, you will use this radio button to choose if you are going to download a single video or you want to download multiple video. So when you select the single video, then this particular enter video URL, this particular entry box will be enabled, and this will be keep disabled. But if you choose a multiple video, then this single box will be disabled, and this multiple video, this text area will be enabled. But at this point, I'm going just creating these two radio button. But if you notice, the radio buttons are side by side. Let's create first. Okay, I'm going to give a name, ch radio and single, and I'm going to write ttk dot radio button. Okay, and where I'm going to put, okay, for the time being, let's put in the window only. So let's give the master window. Okay, and then you also mention what is the text. The single one, I can mention the text like single video. Cool. And I also can mention the boot style, what the theme you want to put. I am to put a kind of green color. So green color is the success, right? We have seen that success. So that will give you a kind of green color here. Yeah, green color is a success. So I'm using that. We'll put a value here. And when you select this radio button, you will have a value, let's say single, because a single video, right? Create the next one, ch radio. You can give a name like bulk. It's up to you. ttk dot radio button master. I am putting on the window. Cool. My text is multiple video, and then I will say the boot style equal to success. Cool. And I will say the value equal to multiple, and I will close this here. That's it. Now it will not show till we add into the layout, right? Let's add into the layout. Okay, I think I added in the wrong place. I should add it here, right? This one also here. So this is a widget placeholder. So that's why I added here. Now to add it in the layout, let's add it as a pack for the time being. Pack, and let's see how it looks like. So let's copy it and add it. Now let's run it and see how it looks like. Okay, I can see it came here, but the problem is it's coming like this. But I do not want like this. I want into the horizontal side by side, right? To do that, I think I need to introduce a frame here. If I introduce a frame, then I can put these things, single video and multiple video, in top of the frame. Let's try that. I said, what is frame? Frame is nothing but another widget. Okay. So let's give a name. As you have a radio button is a widget, label is a widget, like that frame is another widget, but you cannot see a frame. Frame is invisible. But we use frame to put another widget into the frame, right? I already told that. So let's use that, and our master will be window. That's it, nothing else we need for the frame. This frame one I am going to add as a pack here. Frame one dot pack. I am adding a pack layout, and what I want to do is I want to add these radio buttons in this particular frame. So what I will do is, for this radio button, instead of window master, I am going to use the frame one. That means what I am saying is, this particular frame one, I am adding that frame into the window, because master is window in the pack. And for the radio button I created, I am adding the radio buttons on top of the frame. That's why I mentioned the frame master equal to frame for the radio button. So frame one is the parent for these two radio buttons. You can mention here, when using the CS radio single pack, you can have a attribute called side, and here you can mention left. Okay, now see how it looks like. Much better, right? It's now coming side by side, but one problem is there is no space between them. So I think I should add some padding here. So for this particular first radio button, let's add a pad x 0. I don't need any pad in the left hand side, but I need a pad in the right hand side. So I add 20, right? Now if you run it, you see it's much better. But I want to give some space in the bottom. So to give the space, you need to add the padding in where? In the frame, because frame actually present a window, and these radio buttons are present on top of the frame. So frame one, I can add some padding here, like pad y, because I'm going to padding in the top and bottom. So pad y. I do not need to add any pad in the top, because I had already a padding on the header level with 2020. So I can mention 0 padding on top, but bottom padding I add 20. Run it. Much better. See, good. Now just think about it. If you want to have something here, some value, if you need to get this value in your any method, then what you need to do is you need to then call these two radio button and get value from them. So that is a problem, because you need to call each of the radio button to get their value, the single and multiple. This is a little bit weird, right? There is a better way to do that, and there the concept of variable comes. Let me explain what the variable is in Tkinter. Now, what is variable in Tkinter? So variable you should use whenever you want a widget to interact with each other, or you want to capture some value from widget, or you want to update the value of widget. For example, here from the radio buttons we are trying to capture some value. So there are two ways you can do that. Either you can call each of the widget and get value from that. So that means you need to call twice, right? Or what you can do, you can create a variable, and that variable you will mention in the same variable mentioned in the widget, same widget. I will show you how to do that, then it will be more clear to you. But point is, here I'm trying to make you, whenever you want to make a create a relationship between two widgets or multiple widgets, you should use variable. Or if you want to capture some value from widget, then also you should use variable. Or say you want to set some value on a widget. Let's say you have a text area, or you have a text entry box. You want to add some value there, you want to set some value there, then also you should use variable. That is a good practice and best practice when you do this GUI programming. Now Tkinter has three inbuilt variable: string var, int var, and boolean var. Actually this represent exactly our string, integer, and boolean data types. In reality it's nothing but our string var is the string data type, int var is our integer data type, and boolean var is the boolean data type. In today's video we are going to use the string var, but int var and boolean var almost work in the same way. The variable is very useful because it's automatically updated by the widget, and it also update the content of the widget. We'll see how it works very soon. Coming back to our code, so what I am trying to tell here, I can create one variable for these radio buttons, and I will store this radio buttons value on that single variable. So let's create a variable for it. I'm going to give a name like ch underscore string, because I said I'm going to use a string here only, ch underscore string, because I'm going to store this value, right, single and multiple. So that's why I'm using the string here. And variable, when you are describing a variable, always remember, don't use the bootstrap one. You can use the normal vanilla Tkinter one. Is string var, that's it. So this is our variable. How you define a variable? tk.string var, that's a define a string variable. Now you mention this here. You can mention like variable, and you mention this variable name. That's it. Variable name. Whichever radio button you will choose, the value of the radio button will be stored into this particular variable. Now if you want to see this in practice, let me show you. Let me create a function here. Okay, def choose video. I'm creating a function here. Anyway, I'm going to use this function later, but currently just want to show you how it works. And I'm printing it. What I'm going to print it? I'm going to print this particular variable content, that ch.string. Okay, let's print this one. .get. I'm getting the value of this value and printing it. Call this function, where from I need to call with the command, right? Command attribute. If you remember that I used this already in the previous video a lot, but it's just a quick refresher. Again, if you didn't see that video, please look into it, the last video. Command, here you can call that particular method is ch choose video, right? Now never ever call this method like this. If you put this in a parenthesis, the method will be executed as soon as you open this window. So to execute it, when you click on the button, then we always put the method something like this. But if you have a method, say you need to pass some value in the method, then you should use the lambda. Okay, but here I am not passing any value, so you can put like this command. Okay, so with the command attribute, you can always call any method into a button. So command choose video. That's it. Now you run it and see if it is working. Now let me choose single video. See, single is printing here. If I choose a multiple video, multiple is printing here. So I hope you understand now how variable is working. Whenever you selecting one of the radio button here, the value of the radio button is just storing into this variable ch string, and I am calling that variable to print it into the console, and you see it's printing fine. If I choose a single video, is single, multiple video is print multiple. So like that is work. So here I'm showing, giving an example that where you can use the variable to get the value from a widget, and it's always best practice to use the variable. Cool. So where we are now, we are already created up to this YouTube video downloader single one. Now I need to create this particular entry box here and also a label, enter video URL. Let's create it. It's pretty simple, right? So it will be our next line, section is our, let's say I'm giving an enter single. The comment I am adding it so that it will be helpful for you later when you look into the code. Anyway, I'm going to share this code with you into GitHub repository, and you can always download it from there. Okay, I have a label, enter video URL. Let's create the label first. So I'm giving a variable name single entry. I'm going to create an entry here. So single entry label. Okay, I'm giving this variable name, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the label here, TTK label. And where you put the label, I can put the label. I do not need a frame here, right? I can put the label in the outside of any frame. So I'm going to put the label in the window directly. So master will be, the parent will be window. Very good. And what will be written in the label? Enter video URL. Very good. Write that. Enter video URL. So this is our label. Then I need to create a single entry box. So let's give a name that one also, single entry, and it will be created like a ttk dot entry. We are creating an entry widget here. So first we created a label widget. Now I'm creating an entry widget with a ttk entry, and here master again will be window, and I'm going to use a boot style, say same boot style I'm going to use, that is success, kind of green color. Okay, you have beautiful green color here. And another thing what I am going to do is I am going to create a variable, because I want to store this one into one of our whatever the data I will enter here, I want to store into in one of the variable. So let's create a variable called text variable. Let's give a variable name URL underscore string, and it's coming error because I didn't mention the variable yet here. So let's mention that URL underscore string equal to tk dot string var. Okay, let me give put a width also on this particular entry box, and let me put a width like 40. Now one thing you need to remember, whenever you give some width or height for any window, it's always given a pixel. Although I didn't mention here till now for any window width, but it's always going the pixel. But always remember, when you give some width and a height for any widget, it's always come as a number of character. So if I mention 40, it will take the 40 characters, okay, long. So let's run it, but if we run it, it will not show anything because I didn't add into the pack yet, or I didn't add into the layout yet. So let me add into the layout, like same layout pack. This is my label, and let me add the entry widget also. Okay, I'm going to use the pack, and here I can put some padding here, right? Let's add some padding, and bottom padding 0.20. Let's run it. Oh, perfect. See, look good, right? Single video, multiple video. This is also coming URL, and when you click on it, it's a green color, right? Because we use the theme, success theme in the boot style. Okay, in the journal theme we use the success, so that's why the green color is coming. One thing, just run it again. Currently you see you can enter anything in this widget, but I wanted to make it disabled because I want to click on single video, this particular radio button, then I want to make it enable. So when the window will open, I want to make sure this enter video URL and also the multiple both should be in a disable state. To do that, there is one attribute called state, and there you can mention disabled. The normal, if you make it enabled, the attribute value is normal, but if you want to disable, the attribute value is disabled. Okay, Perfect. Yeah, that's it. Now next put the next section, that is enter multiple video URL. Right, first I need to create this particular label, right? Let's create the label then. So I will give the name multiple entry label and ttk label, and here where I'll put it in a window. So master will be window only, text will be enter multiple video URL separated by comma. Perfect, that's it. I don't think we need anything else here for this label. Next one, I need to create a text box. Previously I created an entry. Entry is for whenever you creating, entering a single line text, but when you need to add a multiple line text, there is a widget called text area. We use that widget, if you remember, into our last video, but here also we are going to use that for the multiple text. So let me give a name there, multiple entry, right? Given it, as I said, most of the widgets are available in the Bootstrap library. Few of widgets are not available, and one of them is the text. So for that I am going to use vanilla Tkinter. That's why I'm using TK, not TTK, and it's called text, TEXT, text. So in the text, what will be the master? Same master window. There is no issue on that. I want to mention a width on it, like say I am mention a width say 40, same width like the single entry one, and let's put a height equal to 15. Okay, and this window in widget also, this particular text here also I want to make it disabled till I select the radio button. Okay, so just put disabled. Now let's add this into the layout. As you know, it's very easy, but you are noticing, right, for creating any widget, after you create the widget, you have to add into the layout, otherwise the widget will not show up into your window. So that's what I'm doing. First I'm adding the label, and next I am adding our text one also. And when I'm adding the text one, I am putting some pad y, because I want to give some space into the bottom of the widget. That's why using the pad y. Top is 0 and bottom is 20. Run it. Perfect. Looking great, right? See, these are disabled. You cannot add anything, but widgets has been created. Very good. Next we have, I need to create another 2 radio button here, high resolution and low resolution. So I already create the same kind of radio button, single video, multiple video. So instead of typing everything, I'm going to copy that code. Okay, and I am just make some changes there so that I can save some typing here. So here what I am doing is I am choosing the resolution. So change the comment resolution. Very good. And here this give a frame called frame 2. Previously it was frame 1. I'm just in frame 2. And here give a variable name, high resolution, the first one, high radio button. Below one I am giving the name low underscore radio, right? And here frame here master will be frame 2, because I am putting this radio button in this frame 2, and frame 2 I will put into the window. For frame 2 is a parent is window, but for these radio buttons the parent is the frame 2. So that's why I am mentioning frame 2 here. Master text is high resolution, remove this, and this is low resolution, right? Resolution, and value I give high for the high one, and sorry, it was boost style, right? Boost style is success, I will keep the same, but here value I will put the high for the high resolution, this for the low resolution. And I am going to create a variable also for this one, and the variable the name I am going to give like resolution string, right? I can give like variable name resolution string, this variable name, and same variable here. And here I can remove the comment at this point, because later point of time I need to create different function for it. So we'll look into this later, but this is coming error because this variable I didn't define it yet. So let me define that like tk dot string bar. That's it. Okay. Another thing, don't forget, you need to add this thing, this frame to high radio, low radio into your layout. So I just copy that previously. I add the radio button. I am copy that and make the changes there. So it will be frame 2, right? And here high radio and low radio. That is my variable name. That's it. Now if you run it, I think it should be fine. See, it came. And I also have a different variable also for this. So whatever the high and low values will be stored into this RAS string, this resolution string variable. So if I get the value for this radio button, then always I can console this RAS string, this one variable. Perfect. Next, what I have? Next, I have the select the folder to save the video. This one label will come, text will come, and then there will be a entry box and a button. Let's create that. We are almost done. So I am going to create another section here. Select the folder. I am putting the label first. Label equal to ttk dot label, and master will be window. I am putting in the window only, and then text I am going to put. I need to put into the quotation. Yeah. So this is the label. I can add this label into the layout. Label dot back. Now run it. See, select the video, save the video. It came good. Label is showing to me, this one. Perfect. Now I am going to create one entry box and one button. But you see, both are side by side. We are going to use the same concept. I am going to create a frame here, and this will be my frame 3. Say previous frame 1, frame 2. This will be frame T3, and I will add this frame on our window, right? Perfect. And then I am going to add first my entry box, right? So I can give a name like save entry, right? And here ttk entry. Now for entry, where I'm going to put the entry, I'm going to put on the frame 3. So my parent will be, the master will be frame 3. Perfect. Then what else we did? We need to mention the boot style, or how it will look like. I'm going to use the same boot style so that there will be parity. So I'm going to use the boot style success, the green color one. And I am also going to save this into one of our variable that I am going to mention. Let's say save string, variable name I am giving save string. Okay. And this is showing some error because the variable is not mentioned here yet. So I'm going to add that variable like tk dot string var full. And then another button I also need to add. So I'm giving a name like save button, and I create this like ttk dot button. And master will be this button also will be present with the frame 3, right? So master will be frame 3. And then what will be the boot style of this button? I want the button to have a green color borderline, right? So I will mention like success, as I showed you in the tutorial before, success hyphen, and then you see there is an outline, right? So success outline. That's it. Very easy, right? And what will be the text on this button? Say we are going to use this button to select the folder, right? So you can write a text like select folder. Till now I think it's perfect. Yeah, I need to add this in the layout. So first thing, save label I already added. So I need to add the frame 3 like dot back. And I am to get some, give some space between the frame. So I am going to add some pad y 0, 20. And for this radio buttons, I'm going to use the same layout as I used for the other radio button. I just changed the name. because here I am also going to putting side by side entry and button. So I am going to use the same kind of layout as the radio buttons, because those are also side by side. Now it's perfect, I guess. Let me run it and see how it looks like. Perfect. This looks great. See, when you hover it, is becoming green, and otherwise is a beautiful green color. And this also came good. High resolution, low resolution, everything is actually perfect. We have a text variable also, save string. So whatever you put into this entry box, so that will be saved into this particular save string variable. Awesome. So last thing what I have is the download button, right? This particular download button. Then we can start adding the function. Let's put the download button to complete this UI. So I'm going to add the main button. Text will be the download. This button, when you click on it, it downloads the video. So to do that, let me create a section here in the widget, like download button. Let me give the normal name button here, and then ttk.button, right? Where I'll put the button, we'll put in the window. So master will be window. Then what I am going to write on the button? I am going to write download. What will be the style of the button? Exactly same style I have the previous button. I just copy this style, and I will keep this button disabled. This button only enabled once I have some information is this save entry box. When I see, that means in other words, when I select a folder, then only this button will be enabled, download button. Otherwise it will be disabled. So I am putting is disabled. I will make it enabled with my code. That's it. Now let me add this button into the layout dot pack, and I am going to give space in top and bottom both. So because this is a special last major main button, so I'm going to get extra space. So I'm going to give 20. Perfect. It looks great. Now it's responsive also. See, make sure that user cannot string this window much. Okay, then it does not go looks good. It's okay to user to extend or expand this window. This UI is pretty responsive. It looks good also if you expand it, but I don't want them to squeeze much this particular window. So you can do that. There is one attribute. Let me I think the attribute name is min size. Okay, so you can add that here, like in the window section, you can add that window dot min size. That means we are telling user that you cannot able to squeeze this window less than this 550. These are all pixel, by the way. When you are using in the size in the window, it's always pixel. When you are using any size into the widget, is always character. Okay. 550, 700. I think it should be perfect. See, now you can expand as much as you want, but you cannot squeeze more than this. Your UI is ready now. Congratulations. Now we are going to put life in this UI. So we are going to write some code here. We are going to write some method here so that this UI will function as we want. Let's start writing. So first thing, what you think you need to do? I need to write a code where when we click on this single video, this particular radio button, this particular enter video will be enabled, and you can enter value here. And if you click on the multiple video, then this multiple video URL, this section will be enabled, and this enter video URL will be disabled. So vice versa. So let's add that code. I already have this choose video function here. I can add it here, right? And I already showed you that when you want to add any functionality of any of the widget, how will do that? There is a called command attribute or any button, for example. You can always write command, and then I can put that particular function name, and it should then call the function as soon as the button will be clicked, or radio button will be clicked. So here we are talking about the radio button. A radio button, I already have this command attribute mentioned here, choose video. So if I can change the code in this particular function, then it should be fine. So let's write it. So I want to get the value from the this variable, right? Ch string. What value I am going to see? I am going to see, let get the value with the get, and if the value equal to single, isn't it? Then I want to make sure the single entry will be enabled. Let's do that. Let's copy that. I'm putting this state, right? State equal to will be normal. That means it will be enabled. Okay? And another one was the multiple entry, and it will be disabled. Well, hope you understand it. What I am doing here, I am doing when someone will select this single video radio button, this in the single entry, that means this one, this particular one will be enabled and this one will be disabled. That I tried to do here, make it disabled. Else, if it is not single, then it will be multiple, right? Okay, by the way, the spelling is wrong here, single. Yeah, otherwise it will be multiple, right? In that case, it will be vice versa. Just copy paste this one and you just change it. It will be disabled, single entry will be disabled, and it will be normal. Pretty simple code, right? If they choose the single video, then the single entry will be enabled, multiple entry will be disabled. If they choose the otherwise, either they just choose single or they will choose a multiple. Otherwise, else it will be single entry will be disabled and multiple entry will be enabled. That's it. Let's test it. Now you see when you open it, the both are disabled. When you click on the single video, it become enabled, this one. But as soon as you click on the multiple video radio button, this become disabled and this become enabled, the multiple one. You can add multiple entry here, multiple line of text here. Perfect, it's working fine. So first is achieved, first functionality, right? Next one is I need to get that the select folder. Okay, so someone will click the select folder, it should open a dialog box and someone should be able to select the that particular folder which they want to save the video. So let's first implement this functionality. So someone will select the folder, it should open a dialog box. From there they should select the folder where someone want to save the video. I'm going to implement that functionality now. So let's create another function for that. I'm giving def choose underscore folder. If you remember, I told you before that I am importing this FileDialog. What this FileDialog does is, now I'm going to explain it. What FileDialog does is, FileDialog is nothing but a class in the Tkinter object. When I call this class, I can call any method on this particular class object, and from there is a defined method like args directory or select folder. So it will open the Windows folder and you can select a folder. Let's see how it works. So it's already imported. I am going to use that. And when you select the folder, it choose that folder and it save it. Okay. So I am giving a variable name called file name. Okay. You can give any variable. Let me see. It's up to you. Now FileDialog dot, there is a method called args dictionary. You see, args directory. I create that, and here you can mention the what will be the initial directory it will open. I am mentioning it will open my root. Okay, and from there I can navigate through and select it. And once you select it, what you want? You want that whatever the thing you select, whatever the folder you select, it should store into this particular text box, right? What is the variable of this text box? Save string. And as you remember, I told that you can use variable to get the value from any widget, or you can set some value in a widget. So I already showed you how you can get the value from the radio button, right? That I already showed. Now we are going to see how we can set the value. Okay, so this is my save string, right? This is the variable, right? So I am going to set the value on this variable, right? So you can write like save string. So if I set the value on this variable, then automatically it will set with the widget. That's clear, right? So you can value set with the set method on this particular variable, and here the value will mention is the whatever the value folder you will select here, that is file name, this particular variable. That's it. What else you want to do? As soon as it will be, let me run it again. As soon as it will be entered, this particular download button should be enabled. Okay, that's you want to do. Let's do that. So I know the button, download button variable, we choose the button. Then I can mention the state of this button, state equal to normal. I think, no, now you need to call this particular method, right, into this particular button, FileDialog button. So let's go to that button, FileDialog, that is the select folder. Here you can call this command with the command attribute. You can call this method choose folder. I think we are good now. Let's run it. See, here I clicked on the select folder. The FileDialog is opening, very good, and I can navigate from here. I go to my desktop, and let's say I'm going in my desktop. There I have a folder called videos. I'm going to select that. See, all this path has been selected, and as soon as I select the end value, I select the folder, this particular button also enabled. Previously it was disabled, now it's enabled. Good, it's working. Now next one, what I want to do is, as I need to get the information as soon as I click on this download button. Let me enable it, select some folder here. As soon as I click on this download button, I want to get whatever information user selected here in the search a single video, whatever the URL they put, or in the multiple video, whatever URLs they put, I want to get that information. I also get the information, this what resolution they selected, as well as also get the information whatever the folder it's selected. I want to get all the information. Okay, then let's write another function. Let's say give name download video button. It's a very interesting one. So let's first create a empty list called URLs. Whatever the URLs user will select, I am going to put that into this particular list so that I can use that later to download those. Okay. That's why I'm creating this empty list, and then I'm creating another variable called resolution. And resolution I will get from where? Resolution has a variable, right, for the resolution string. I am going to get the value from there, dot get. That's it, I got the resolution value also. Then also the save location, right, that also I have a variable, save string, right, this one you can do, or yeah, this save string, it will give you the value, right, for the location. So creating a save location variable. Here you can give any name here. I get that value from there, that particular variable. And also I need to get value also from this one also, right, whatever you put it here, I want to get the value from there. So that variable is URL string, right, this one. So let me value single URL. I am creating a variable here, and here I will get it like this. Perfect. Now I want to mention if single URL, this particular URL, this value I get something here. If single URL not equal to null or blank, then I want to say append to have URLs, right? URLs dot append, right? What you are appending? I'm appending this URL here, single URL. Perfect. You understood? Good. Else, if it is not single URL, then I will have the multiple URLs, right? Then else get it from there. Simple. If it is not single, it should be multiple URL. So for multiple URL, let's create a variable called multi URL. You can give any name here, but I'm giving that multiple entry is a text box, right? That was multiple entry. That's my text box. So I am going to get information from there. And if you remember, this is a text box, my text area, and I use this into my last video in calculator. It has a 3 different method, right? Like get, insert and delete. And now we are going to insert the get one. This is a weird syntax. The get syntax is something like that. You need to give the start index, that is 1.0, from where it will start and up to, I am to get to everything, that is end. So that is the syntax to get it. So it will give you all the URLs. Now I said the URLs you enter as a comma, you put the comma between the URLs. So to do that, what you can do is, if you give a comma, I want to split it. I want to split it and make it a list. So if you have a string with comma, and if you want to split it, the string, and make it a list, there is a method called split, and where you can put that what by which you want to split it. Sometime you want to split it with the space, sometime you want to split it with a comma, whatever it is. But currently we are splitting it via comma, because we asked user, if you want to put multiple URLs, then put comma there. So I am going to split it via comma. Then it will give you the multi URL list. Now I am going to loop this particular list and add it into this our URLs empty list, because that's only we are going to use that to process it. So I can use a list comprehension, very easy. So what I am going to do is, I'm going to make sure that URL does not have any spaces in the front and end. So for that I will mention URL dot strip, right? There is a method called strip for URL in multi URL. You understand what I'm doing? It's very easy. It's a list comprehension I'm doing. If you do not know list comprehension, please refer my previous video. I will put the link there. In this video I showed that how you can do the list comprehension in very detail. So here we are saying that we are looping through this list. I am getting each of the element of that particular list here, and I'm stripping it. I'm adding a method on that strip method. What it will do, if URL has any space in front or in back, it will strip it. It will remove those space, and it will give me a list of the URLs. That's it. So currently what we have then, we have the resolution, we have the save location, we have the URLs also with us. Good. Now I think we are good. Let's print it. Okay. Whatever we got it, let's print it if it's coming fine or not. So I'm going to print the URL. I'm going to print the resolution. And also I am going to print the save location. Perfect. Let's do it. Yeah. Now let me get my previous video URL so that I can test it. I'm printing it and test it if it is coming properly or not. I'm copying here this one, and that's my previous video URL in my YouTube channel, and opening it now. Let's try test it. Oh, one thing before testing, I didn't call this methods till now, so I need to call it in the download button, right? So what's the method name? It's a download video button. So I can call this in this button, download button, like command download video button. Okay, I think we are good now. Let's create single video, enter video URL, like I already copied it. Put this URL, high resolution, select some folder here. Let's say user, this folder I choose, and click on download. See, it's printed fine. This is my URL, first one. This is the high resolution is printed. Okay, why is coming high both? So I think there is something wrong here. Let me find it out. Would be easy. Save location. What I'm saving location? Okay, see, I have saved location. I am still saving this resolution one only. So for the saving location, our thing is save strings. Okay? It's always good to test it, okay, before you go forward. So save string, here, save location, save string. Here you need to change it. Now run it. You should be fine. Single video. Let me get my video URL again, copying it and putting into this text box, choosing the high resolution, selecting a folder. This particular button is still disabled. So I'm choosing a folder and I choose it. As soon as choose it, it's become enabled now. See, now I'm click on download and it's correctly came, right? This is the URL came, then the resolution is high, and this is my folder I selected where I want to save the video. Perfect, it's working great. Now last thing is only remaining. What is that? That is, I want to develop the code to download the actual video. Let's develop it. It's a very easy, because we already went through this code before in another video here, that I have a automation video, right? And there I developed this code already, this download video. I'm going to exactly use the same code here. If you didn't see it, you can see it, or otherwise anyway I'm going to cover here. Okay, I'm going to write the same code here. Let's write it. So now let's write the code to download the video. So we have all the information. We have a URLs, that is a list of URLs, and it can be single item also, it can be multiple, and based on the whatever user chose. We have the resolution, we have the save location also. That's what we need, right, to write this code. So let's create a one function, right, def download video, and in this function I am having three attributes: URLs, that is a list of the URLs, resolution, and the save location. Okay? Then I'm going to put a try and except block here, and in that try and except block I am going to start writing. Now let's say I get the URLs, right, and it's a list of URLs, so I need to loop that list, right? For each URL I want to do the same thing, so that's why I'm putting in a for loop. So for URL, in URLs, what I'm telling is I am calling this YouTube function. If you remember, I already imported this YouTube function from this pytubefix library. I'm using that YouTube function. I'm passing this URL as a first parameter. As a URL what I am got from the user, that I'm passing as a first parameter, and then I am saying on progress callback equal to on progress. See, this one also I imported here. What it does is, when the video is being downloaded, there is a progress bar, it will show in the console. That is for that I'm doing that, but it's again optional. If you want it, you can put it, otherwise you cannot. Maybe it can be a good task for you, that good exercise for you. You want to add this this progress bar in your UI only. That is a good idea, right? I didn't do it in this particular video, but you can also try to do that, or else I will cover it in the next video or something. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. So it is creating this YouTube function, basically creating a YouTube object, and that is YT I am storing in this variable, this YouTube object. Then what I'm doing, I'm just printing the title of this particular video, and I'm checking if resolution, you remember I getting the resolution here. If resolution is low, then when I getting the stream, I am choosing the lowest resolution. Get lowest resolution, this particular function I'm choosing from the streams object. And if else, if it is not low, then it is high, right? Then I am choosing the highest resolution. This is a if and normal if and else box, and it's pretty simple, right? I don't think there's any issue on that, but if you face an issue, let me know. Then what I'm doing is, for on these RS streams, this particular object, I am calling this download method, and there what I am passing the output path, and the output path I am passing the save location, whichever the users choose the save location, right, where you wanted to download the video, that particular folder user chose the path, that I am passing here in the output path. Hope it's clear to you. By the way, I think we missed a pretty important thing. We created this download video, we never called it. Okay, we just printing the value here. So we need to call this method, right? So I can call this method here only when someone click on the download button. This particular download video button method will execute. This function will execute, right? So I am call this download video function here, and here also I need to just call this URL, resolution, and save location, pass these arguments. That's it. I think we're good. Let's run it. Wow, great, it's coming fine. Again, congratulations to you. Today we developed this particular YouTube video download as a pretty advanced one, because you see we are giving a good GUI, very nice looking GUI. We're using the Ttkbootstrap one, which is a modern Tkinter library, and that's why you see that different widgets are basically look modern, very cool looking widgets. And we give lot of info, thing to the user, like user can choose single or multiple video. They can download single video as well as a multiple video. Then we also asked user to, if they can choose the high resolution, low resolution, they can choose the folder where do you want to save the video. All these things they can do from here. And also from the learning perspective, we covered a lot here. In the last video we covered the button widget and only the text widget, and we covered only the grid layout. But in today's video we cover the pack layout, and pretty extensively we use that, because we use a pack top to bottom default one, as well as we put the different widget in the pack layout side by side by using the frame and parenting concept. So see, we covered a lot, like we covered a different widgets like radio button, text entry, label, then the folder selection, buttons. We use different themes, and moreover we learned a new concept of variable also. In Tkinter we learned that Tkinter has 3 different type of variable, that's string var, boolean var, and int var. That is a string, boolean, and integer data types for us. And although we used only the string variable here, string data type here, but we have seen that how you can set some value into a widget using the variable, or you can get some value from the widget using the variable. So we covered a lot in today's video, and hope you enjoyed it. Now let's test it, okay, how it's working. So I'm using a single video, and I'm putting one of my old video URL. I just copy here this URL here, okay, and then I choose this high resolution. I'm selecting a folder like in my desktop. I am choosing something like there is a folder called video. I'm choosing that. So the video will be downloaded there. Now click on download. See, it's showing me the video downloaded successfully. It show the progress bar also, and the video title also. I'm going to the video folder in desktop, opening it. See, the video downloaded, right? I can open the video and I can run. A warm welcome to today's video. So it's running Tkinter. One is pack, second grid. Perfect. Okay, now let's delete this, okay, in this video, and let's try to use this, okay, to download multiple video. Let me rerun the code again. So I will choose multiple video here, and once I choose a multiple, this is disabled and this is enabled, the multiple location one. Now let me choose this video one, and I will need to choose another video too. Okay, I will put comma here, put some space also. It will anyway strip, as I already used the strip function, if you remember. And I am opening another one here, another video. Okay, that is a automation project, that also I am copying here, and I am putting this. So I am downloading 2 videos. Like this you can download multiple videos. Okay, you just need to put video URLs by comma, putting comma. I'm choosing high resolution. I'm selecting the same folder. I'm going to the desktop and I'm choosing the video folder here, and I'm clicking on download. See, my video is being downloaded. First one downloaded, the second one also downloaded. Fine. Video download success. I got the message. Now open the video folder. See, both the video downloaded. I can open it. I can run it. It's running fine. Second one also. Let's check that. We can increase the font here. Perfect. It's running fine. It's working perfect. So our code is working well. So again, big congratulations to you. We covered a lot. We learned a lot today. Now, if you face any issue anywhere, if you have any queries, please feel free to let me know in the comment section. I will get back to you. So today we covered a lot. We have covered multiple widgets, pack layout extensively, frame, whatnot. And the last video also we covered a Tkinter grid layout with a calculator project. And today we developed a YouTube video downloader, quite a advanced one. If you liked today's video, then please hit the like button and share with others. And there are a lot of new videos are coming up. In the next couple of videos, we will try to complete the Tkinter series, where we'll develop more advanced tools and automation with the using the Python GI, Tkinter and Tkinter custom libraries too. And after that, we will cover the other areas like DSA, Pandas, NumPy, and then Django, as well as the Flask. So you see, there are a lot of new things are coming up, a lot of new exciting videos are coming up. So stay tuned. And if you're not member in this channel yet, then please hit the subscribe button and member to this channel, as I upload new videos every week, and you will get the notification and you will not miss any video. So see you to the next video. Till then, happy learning, happy coding. Bye.